Tina here, Idil. I have a request from HHBLAB or HHBLAB10. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. She wanted me to do a video on how I tie my twillies or scarves to my bags. I'm very sorry I cannot demonstrate on this exact bag because it took me bloody forever to get it perfectly. There are two ways to tie these things. You can either start at one end and then end at the other, but the problem is you're going to be there ages trying to get it symmetrical, but sometimes it's easier. I don't know, it depends on what works for you. One way can work for one person and another way can work for another, but I'll show you the two different ways today. So I started from one end to the other, and it was always longer on one side and whatever, so you have to keep doing it until it's perfect, or you can start from the midpoint, but then it has other complications. But anyways, I'll show that all to you today. And yeah, I must have wrapped this about like 35 times, and then I literally had a nap afterwards. So yeah, you can kind of get an idea. So if it starts unraveling, sometimes they do, because once you use it, it starts getting a little looser, and you don't really notice it until it starts unraveling. You're like, oh shit, I need to do it again. So yeah, anyways, I will start now. I've got a surprise for you guys. So I've already done this. It's a twilly, and I will unwrap it for you to show you how I got this. I just did this quickly, just to show you the end results. So yeah, I hope you all had a great weekend. Making chit chat here as I unravel this. I'm actually wearing my summer Marciano blazer and one of my summer tops because I'm obviously missing summer. I've got my Swarovski ring, my filigree ring. This is one of my favourite rings ever. I've got this rose gold bangle from my Aunt Dawn in Rockville. Thank you, Aunt Dawn. And I've got this pearl and gold ring from a Turkish designer that I bought in Camden Market, and this faux pearl bracelet. I know, I need a real pearl, right? And then my necklace was my grandmother's. I don't know what brand it is. I just got it passed down to me. Okay. So today I'm going to show you how to do it with a twilly and a silk scarf, because if you're like me, you realise that you don't always find the exact colours you want in a twilly, so you sometimes have to work with a scarf. So this is actually a large square scarf, and yeah, you can make it work, trust me, you can make it work. So we will start with the easy one first. This is a Burberry twilly. Burberry London, yay! I find a lot of their things actually quite boring, but I actually like the wellies. I've got a pair of Wellingtons. I wear when it rains, of course, and this, God, the colour just went really, really dark for some reason. Very strange. Okay. Yeah, and this twilly, which I use around my neck, around my hair, and around my bags. Yeah, it went normal. Okay, weird. Okay, so anyway, I have my Speedy 30 to demonstrate this twilly tying today. So there are two ways you can do it. So you can either start at the middle. So you just fold it in half, obviously, and you find the exact middle. Okay, and it's right there where the tag is. And you place that in the middle of the bag, and you literally just start. So you want to tie it fairly taut, quite tight around the handle. And the more on an angle you have it, so the more horizontal that you have this twilly angled, the faster it's going to get to the end. So if you do it too much on an angle, you're going to have too much material at the end. It's going to look bunchy. So you have to leave just the right amount of material at the end so it doesn't look all disproportionate and knobbly at the end. So to get it So to get it where you don't have much room and it takes a longer time for it to get to the end, you want to have it less on an angle, so the scarf more vertical. So you've got this horizontally, it's going to get to the end quicker, and vertically it's going to take a long time, because obviously it's taking more material, because when the scarf is vertical, it's doing the folds, it's overlapping in smaller increments, okay? So, okay, now we're at the end, lovely. And you always want to make sure that you go from the top of the loop to the bottom when you're tying the knot, so that the end of the twilly comes out at the bottom and not at the top. Because if you do it the other way around, you're going to have lopsided, funny looking, awkward top coming out like a really awkward ponytail at the top of your head. So yeah, that's the way. I didn't tie that very well. There we go. So you just want to like play around with it. And, you know, sometimes you may not like the way something's folded, or you don't like the way the material's bunching up. So you actually just want to sit there and be pulling and adjusting until you get it to the perfect way you want it, okay? So now that we have the middle part, it's just going to be symmetrical on the other side, and it's going to be quite easy to do. So the only difference between tying it from the middle and then doing both sides is that the overlap changes. So basically, if we started from this way, it's just going to be all overlapping on the same side. But because we do it in the middle, the overlap kind of changes sides, and then it starts going in the opposite direction. But you can't really tell, and it's not really that big of a deal. You just have to make sure that if there's any bunching up, you can just overlap it. It's very easy. But if you're really anal where they all have to be going, you see what I mean? So now it's starting to do, basically it mirrors this side, and it starts overlapping on this end too. Whereas it should have been, I don't know how to explain it to you guys. They're basically going their own direction each way. So, okay, that's too much. I mean, I don't have enough. So I need it to be a little more on an angle towards the end, so I had a bit more room. Okay. See what I mean? You have to get this perfect, just so it's all proportional. Okay, there we go. So remember, from the top, over the top, down, and you pull from the bottom. Not doing a very good job, am I? There we go. So, there we have it. This is how to tie a twilly onto the handle. The good thing about tying it from the middle is it's less likely to unwind or unravel because you're changing direction. So it's actually it's a little more secure because it's almost got it in a, how do you say it? Because they're going different directions, it's almost got it into a little knot in the middle. It's just a bit more secure on the handle. So, very cute. I love the way a twilly looks on a bag. It just looks a lot more chic, girly, feminine. It's got a really cute appeal to the bag. So on the other handle, I'm going to show you how to do it the other way, which is starting from one end to the other. So first of all, I will show you how to fold the scarf when it's square. So you never want to fold it like this. You never want to fold it in a rectangle, because I'll show you what happens. This happens. Nobody wants this at the end of the handles because this just looks silly. So yeah, you want to fold it diagonally. Make sure that the tag end, if you have a tag, is at that point. And then the free ends with nothing on them are at the ends. So the tag end is at the point. And then you want to make sure that this point and the edges are tucked in. You don't want this being on the outside. I'll show you what happens when they're on the outside. So say you went like this. Okay? All these edges are on the outside. It's going to look horrendous when you start wrapping because of this. It's going to look so bunchy and horrendous. So you have to make sure that the edges are on the inside. Okay? So let me see if I can show you. So I'll take this. So you're going to fold it like that. You see? And then you're going to fold it again. And then again. And then all those edges are hidden. See? They're just at the ends. So, if we start at the edge of the bag, we're going to make that knot. Like, actually, you know what? It's actually harder to do with. I should have done this with the twilly. Yeah, because it's a scarf, but it's okay. I did it with my other bags. I can do it here. So, yeah. So you tie the knot, and obviously you want to do the tie that comes out at the bottom. So you want to take the end and overlap over the top under, so the end comes out underneath. Okay, so it's a little cute edge, there we go. And I still have my fingers taut so it doesn't unravel. It doesn't matter too much though when you start wrapping, because see, I even let go. So when you're actually wrapping, you can control. So it helps that you did wrap it beforehand. It kind of keeps it in place, but it helps when you're actually wrapping to hold. You can kind of manipulate the scarf to make sure that the handles are on the inside, as I'm doing here. I'm making sure those edges of the scarf are on the inside. So you don't want to have the edges anywhere on the outside, the edge of the scarf. So as you can see, this is the center of the pattern. I'm not doing this to perfection because this video will take like 3 hours, so I'm just doing it as quickly as I can without rushing and without it making it look absolutely hideous. So, okay, since it's too thick already, we have to go back and distribute more material on this side since it's thinner here. So it's all about proportion when doing this, and kind of doing it in the right proportion to make sure that the handle has even thickness throughout, not that it's like really thick on one end and really thin on the other where it had less material. So there we go. See how I'm making sure that the edges don't show. It's okay if it happens a bit towards the end. I actually kind of like it towards the end because it gives it a bit of colour. Okay, oops, okay, so I just blacked out. And again, from the top, over, under, okay. So there you go. Isn't that cute? So that, see it's a bit longer on that. See, that's the problem when starting at the edge. I do suggest using this way so that it'll be easier to get it more proportionate when tying. So, but you know, you do whatever's easier for you. If you like it going all in the same direction, it looks a bit cleaner when you do start on one end to the other. So, yeah, there you have it. How to tie a twilly and a scarf to a bag. And now it's all chic. Doesn't it make, I think it dresses the bag up so much, because I think monogram and damier is quite casual looking. But when there's something added to it, kind of like why my Pallas looks a bit more evening-ish because of the leather, when there's something added, like some colour of some sort, especially with these silk twillies and scarves, it really dresses up a bag. So anyways, I hope this was helpful to some of you, at least. And if you have any questions, please do let me know, and love you all. Bye.